it slows down the roll 20 because
you roll
20 is a poorly designed thing. Yeah, I will. Well, it's forever immortalized.
What? It's a free platform for like anyone?
No, don't get me wrong. I love Roll20, but when that big fiasco of everything going on with them happened, with Dawnforge, I started reading a lot into their services and stuff, and a lot of people complain about like how they've coded Roll20 to work inside of HTML5 is not optimal at all. And that's when I found out a bunch of ways to, make Roll20 like work more streamlined for me. It's just like, hey, look, it's poorly coded, so you have to do this and this and this and this and this and this. Like, That said, I'm super appreciative for the service because I love playing D&D online.
Yeah,
D&D online is very nice. I don't have to leave the comfort of my home. I can yell at people anywhere now.
So, Brandon, are you afraid for having to do another 2 weeks in a row of Group C?
I'm excited to play Dusty in 2 weeks in a row.
You guys were actually pretty tame this last session.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would be, but there's this thing that I don't like to admit that happens occasionally with the groups, and it's good for me and bad for the groups, where I'll prepare more content for the group, and the group will go through it so slow that they'll only get through half of it, and then I won't have to do anything the next week for the session because all of the stuff is like already there and rolled up. And that's
you expected us idiots to just jump right into that fucking building, didn't you?
Yeah, I expected you guys to interface with the prisoner and then also, contact the historians. So all of that exists already, and that's, going to be next session. So it's just like, well, that's great. And then the same thing happened with Group A of like, I made a pre-dungeon and then the actual dungeon, and they, have gotten like halfway through the pre-dungeon. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't have to prep for this group, for X amount of time. But anyways.
Group B gets stuck on the boat.
Hey, no, actually that's another one. It's like the boat was supposed to be like a one session thing. And then Group B's just like, you know what? How about we fire off Divine Sense randomly inside of Ilderon?
That was the greatest fucking moment. Like, when JJ just started Divine Sensing and just like, oh,
like, let's fire off Divine Sense with JJ. Like, almost any of the rest of us would have been, like, calm and measured and been like, there's some beans. Nope! We have JJ, Ace Commando!
Yeah. So, and we'll get started right after this. The reason why I think that's really funny is because, what's going on? Why is that in the background? What? I think I did something wrong.
Rob, you were saying that we were tame last night. Ultis spent 10 minutes trying to find something to burn.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is that for the most part, like, it was just kind of like I need to set something on fire, and it's like, okay, but then we're moving back. I'm like, it's still not like, oh, you guys were normal, but in terms of like a somewhat focused chaos.
Okay. And then there was Dusty just like kind of creeping the entire time.
Okay, so yeah, what I was gonna say on that, I don't remember, it's gone. What were we talking about?
JJ Divine Sensing and
yeah. So
all shit breaking loose.
The reason I think that is funny is because historically in Ilderon, there was a major set of wars as big as the Shatterings of somebody breaking a hole into the bridge and basically letting a bunch of fiends into Ilderon, and there was a point in Ilderon's history where for every 2 people there was one demon, like one full demon walking around inside of Ilderon, and it's been curved back a lot, but
except Arter Sarai, which apparently is fucking Demon Central.
Yeah, to some degree, and so it's, real funny that it's just like, God, there are fiends here, and it's just like, do you know how many fiends are on the material plane?
There's actually quite a lot.
Yeah, they're not bothering you. They're just
Except when they summon giant storms to try to fuck our boat up.
That's true.
Like, it was also funny to me just because, like, he did it, and then he got all aggro about it because it's like, well, it's my job. I'm like, no, it's not.
Like,
You're unintentional.
No.
So,
And then he starts arguing with the captain. Do your job, bitch!
Oh, I'm gonna throw him off the boat.
we've officially been live for like 10 minutes. But we
Hi!
Thanks for telling us!
No, I told you guys we weren't doing any lengthy intro tonight because I didn't need to set up anything because we were already like running behind.
Just like, when you said you didn't need to do a lengthy intro, I was still expecting, an intro.
Well,
Yeah, you usually do.
Here we go.
I gotta mute
Here's the
Discord real
intro.
quick.
Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group F,
You're a
episode
dick.
14. And yeah, we're running a little bit behind today. I was eating dinner while we were all talking pre-session, so that's why the stream's so delayed.
I also just opened up the Reaper skin, the Dracula skin for Reaper.
Oh, congrats. So yeah, let's get into a recap of last night. We won't go through the D&D stuff or the Ilderon stuff. Recap of last week. Your group started off their session inside of a place called the Baelson Sanctum, inside of the Maphis University of Sky's Reach in the country of Ililnagai. So a lot of stuff. You guys were on the other side of the world, on a different continent, inside of the capital of that nation. A roaming performer by the name of Lucilith teleported you guys there, breaking you out of the Gyori's stronghold. And while in Ililnagai, you guys, Nyoka sniffed around for a flower. Everybody else pretty much just rested up and waited until it was the appointed time to go. And Lucilith teleported you guys into Beechwood Retreat. When you got to Beechwood Retreat, you were teleported into a bookstore of sorts that was inside of the Yanyeth ward of Beechwood Retreat, which is that outer shanty town along the river. The one where you guys are aware that Iskara, the bandit lord, who has been amassing, who has been collecting and taking over gangs in the region, has affiliations with the Gyori. You guys informed Lucilith that Iskara was a secret member of the Gyori, and he said that it was imperative for him to look into it after he dispelled the teleportation circle inside of Lockliel. As you guys were leaving, you guys found out that Lucilith is on the fringes of his organization. He is a solo agent that handles jobs, and there is some reason that he is not on the inner circle of them. And apparently, if he handles this job well, he will have the opportunity to be back on their inner circle.
It's because he's a dick. Mystery solved.
Yeah, quite possibly. Then on the road back to Lockliel, as you guys were leaving Yanyeth, one of Iskara's thugs saw you and said that Willis has gone underground, and a few people have seen him around town, but both the thug and Iskara are very well aware that he's alive, and they're hunting after him. The thug offered you a chance to join in the hunt, thinking that you guys might have had more information on him. You guys did not. As you left, he said that Iskara was watching you, and you guys informed him that Iskara was a member of the Gyori. From there on the road, XJ ran into a member of his old battalion, a Warforged by the name of XK, and he XK33, and he now calls himself Carrie. He said that lots of Warforged have been having trouble finding out what to do with their lives, and he decided to travel the world and see all the things that he's wanted to see. And he's been all the way to the Earthspire, and now he's headed to Beechwood Retreat. and XJ informed him that Carrie was carrying around a human that he was unaware was dead, and XJ told him he should stay in a hotel called the Morgue while he's there, and he was like, "That sounds awesome. That's great." He went to the morgue, and he said for XJ to write him whenever he wanted him to come visit him in Lockleal.
Spoiler alert, never gonna write him.
From there, you guys got into the city, or you got into the town of Lockleal. You found out through happenstance, I don't remember which person told you, but Rain is still in town. Then you also talked to Niles to get the teleportation sigil from her.
Mm-hmm.
She confirmed that they did have one underneath the Portmaster's authority in the middle of the southern side of town. And she sketched out the sigil for you and gave it to you. Lucilith informed you that her sketch was useless because some key angles of the sigil that would form the conjuration pattern were definitely off in her sketch. Niles was super unhappy because two of her... she is down to very few ships, and two more of her ships have gone missing off the southern coast. From there, the party decided what they were going to do about the Gaiori. One member has been in charge of the teleportations, moving people in and out of the town, and Morgan had noticed her walking through the town in the direction towards the healing house. Lucilith suggested stalking her and killing her while she was alone, and then that would give him more time to get in and dispel the teleportation circle. The party instead decided that the best option was to scout out the lair that the Gaiori have made in town, and to send Lucilith there as a scout at first, and then for him to report back the best entrances, and then they would attack the fortress while he snuck inside to dispel the circle. Lucilith informed the party several times that it is not his job to fight the Gaiori. The Silver Sigil, whenever society gets off track, they nudge society back on track. They don't punch it. We're gonna pick up there. It is the evening, going into the evening, the end of the afternoon. The sun is setting it would be the afternoon. It is the afternoon of the 23rd? No, that can't be right. Okay, I have in my notes the 23rd, but I'm pretty sure it's the 24th. I'll have to go, because you guys traveled to the other side of the world and spent one day in a weird time zone. So it's either the 23rd or 24th. We're going to go with the 24th, because that feels more logical. That is the 24th of Priestess. You guys are in the center, or the south center of Lockleal. Lucilith has just headed off, saying that he was going to scout out the dock section of town for you. What would you like to do? You are where the purple arrow is pointing, actually.
Which arrow? Oh, the purple arrow.
Yeah, and I can delete this other stuff off here. I need to get better about deleting
I feel like,
stuff.
given the fact that we've suddenly decided this plan was stupid, I should yell for you, Lucilith, to come back.
Oh yeah, like, between the week we kind of talked independently, and we decided that this was a really stupid plan.
All right, yeah.
So,
you guys,
we're not doing what we talked about at the end of last week.
Like, just...
Yeah, that's definitely for the best. So yeah, Lucilith has already informed Morgan that this is a bad plan, and gave Morgan...
I mean, I'm already aware that
I'm
this
going to do a little bit of rewriting and say that Morgan agreed that this was a bad plan and that we shouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, it's not even, it wouldn't be too terribly bad to keep everything that happened last week and, like, because Morgan at this point, Lucilith, like, pulled her aside and was like, hey, this is a really bad plan, let's do this. And Morgan's like, no, I don't want to get poisoned, and then walk back to the party. So from, like, right there, it can be just like, look, he has a point, it's a bad plan, but his isn't even any better. Guys, let's huddle up.
Huddle up, let's bail.
Like, are we calling him back over? Like, that's what I need to...
Yeah, if you want to, you can. He's in shouting distance. He's an old man walking away.
Lucilith!
And he's gonna look back towards you. Pausing for a
back
moment.
over here. I've had a change of heart, so to speak.
You're gonna see him rubbing his hands together, walking back towards you and fishing out the wand from his pouch.
I still think that plan of yours is not much better, but you're right. What we agreed upon is much worse.
And Lucilith is going to say, well, regardless, that teleportation circle needs to be handled.
No, you're absolutely correct.
So, if we're not going with our plan, and apparently our performer friend here had one too, but didn't include the rest of us.
He's going to say no insult to your intelligence. It's just your ability to pull off a believable disguise.
So basically, all the insult to our intelligence.
Frankly,
and he's
you weren't
like,
equipped.
Yeah, he's gonna snap and say, "Yeah, you're smarter than I thought."
And to be fair, you and XJ aren't equipped to handle that particular idea anyway.
Oh,
It's not an insult to your intelligence. It's a compliment to your ability to resist.
I'm very good at handling physical threats.
diseases.
I don't want to go over it because that's just wasting time.
Fair enough. So, what's the new plan then?
We need information. That's true. It occurs to me that there's got to be one that operates the portal. But, and I think you told me this, they're cleansing the ground.
Yes.
Lucilith, as a performer and a man that appears as a person that can operate a portal himself, I believe those two skills might not be... There might not be overlap. The same
Yeah, and he's going to nod and say, yes, I believe the spell you're referring to is Hollow. It has its roots in druidic magic, but calling from divine energy from gods. Mostly the thing you'd see of shepherds. Of shepherds tending to magical arcane matters.
My point is that I believe that means that there are two. We know that there were two we haven't accounted for, and from the sounds of it, they're both powerful. Not to mention what we don't know is there. They have a portal. We wouldn't see anything that gets teleported there if they didn't want us to. I'm not sure how easy it would be to know what's in there. But we need to figure out which one opens the portal, and then maybe we can engage in a little guerrilla warfare. Also,
Lucilith is going to nod, thinking on that.
Because if we can take any one of them by surprise, I think we'd be able to actually win that fight. But also, it occurs to me that Nihilest was terrible at remembering the sigil. But I feel like it has to be documented. They're based here, but they don't operate exclusively here. Somebody knows that sigil.
Yeah, Lucilith is going to look around at the town and say, I haven't been to these ports before. It's hard to know which of these shanty towns pops up and disappear around the edges of Beechwood Retreat.
I know
Would the Alliance have that information, or are we too off the grid?
Lucilith is going to roll a history check, and he is going to he's gonna think on it for a moment and say perhaps they could, if the circle was originally put in by a caster within the Alliance, which I have to look at what their name would be. Oh, I'm just looking up tertiary stuff right now. It's irrelevant.
Well,
but yeah, that's its whole statement.
So that could be that's information we need, potentially, because I believe it would be much easier if we, or at least just Lucilith, could teleport directly to it. Finally, I think we should tell the Master of Magic.
You're gonna see Lucilith inhale and exhale, and he's gonna say, "That would be wise. My order was trying to keep this from his sight, though."
Frankly, he should know. Even if we were to stop it on our own, that doesn't excuse the fact that it's still an attempt was made.
We can still say that we were the ones that found it. Like, he doesn't have to know that you were involved.
Lucilith is going to think about it, and then he's gonna nod and say, we don't get involved in politics. We let the dice fall where they may. That said, it doesn't behoove any of our goals for Barina to hold a tight fist over Beechwood.
And frankly, we're not equipped to handle this entirely. We can turn it off, and we can fight any one of them.
1, 2, we can handle. All of them...
It depends on the two.
I know my idea was shut down earlier.
I'm listening.
I still believe we need to talk to Radiant.
I can go talk to her.
Maybe let's not outright say what it is at first. Maybe poke around a bit.
Morgan, I know you find the rest of us... Well, put it in a term you would probably use.
Idiots.
Hard to handle.
It's an understatement. I would have gone with idiots.
XJ knows Morgan better than you do.
No, she's just using simpler terminology so you understand her.
Touche.
If you're going to raid, I will go with you, just for the simple fact, if she has turned on us, you're not going to be able to take her on your own. She will take you out, and even if you can change into an animal and try to escape, I can assure you, she's got a hell of a reach with that bow and arrow of hers.
I will be fine. But if you insist...
It's my job as the bodyguard of the guild to protect my guildmates, and especially the leader. As much as you begrudgingly, I'll put it simply, hate us at the moment, You are still our guild leader, and as such, it is my job to make sure you do not get hurt.
Like I said, if you must. Okay, so we know the goals. We'll talk to Rain. We'll gather what we can.
Nyoka,
I'll go bug Nihilest afterwards. That may be more of a personal touch. And then from there, we head back to Beechwood Retreat. Lucilith, you're free to join us for any of those endeavors, but I think you'd be best served trailing that woman we saw.
Lucilith is going to nod, and he's gonna say, I have a contact in Beechwood Retreat, Amelia, that can get information in and out of the Ruby Shadow. If you would be searching the Ruby Alliance for any information on that sigil, and it would be hidden anywhere, they could help you out.
It would be pertinent. While I want to let the Master of Magic know what's going on, I might want to leave that detail out, given the prying ears and eyes that would be nearby. So, if I can tell him what's happening here, and ask someone else about the sigil, that would probably be best.
And he is going to say, well, they're a queer little Wonderkin fellow, or Wonderspawn. No, Wonderkin, that's what we called him. Wonderkin fellow. They go by Elo. And let's put them in a district, because we're going to roll them up randomly. Oh god, they would just be in Eodothia. Yeah, okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and he's gonna say, they live in the low docks, just above the cliffside in Seatown.
Oh, my favorite place.
And he's going to say, if you go to see them, though, please note that any exchange with them is going to cost you an exchange of information.
Well, hopefully I have something to give them.
Well, it seems like pertinent information.
Gold's always a decent start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, telling you about the Risen member disguising themselves as a gang boss.
Gaiori.
See, a Gaiori member disguising themselves as a gang boss seemed pretty pertinent information.
He nods and says, yes, it's pretty unconfirmed, though.
So we all know the plan?
The plan is what you make it, boss.
Nayako, what are you and XJ gonna be up to?
I guess I'll be on standby for now. I don't really have much purpose.
Would you say it'd be pertinent to have them maybe start getting the cart ready? It'll be quicker for us to get to Beechwood in that than walking. I know it seems like grunt labor, and I apologize to the both of you for it, but it actually might be one of the more important jobs we have right now, believe it or not.
What, get the cart ready?
Yeah, because we are moving. We still need to move with some kind of haste in this situation.
Nothing really needs to be killed, and this more requires diplomacy And my diplomacy is I'm going to point a sword at you, so... I
Yes.
feel like I should be on the sidelines for this one.
Yeah, so get the cart ready.
Alright, so we're going to split the party. Nayoka and XJ head to the guild house. Morgan and Milani to Rain's place.
Before we split up, I'm gonna spend 10 minutes casting spiritual or my summon steed, so that way they have an animal to hook up to the cart. Plus, if there's any issue, it can contact me and let me know.
Yeah, Camel comes back and it's like, what's with that guiding bolt? Alright, so, and Lucilith is going to head off and do his own thing. The rest of the guild. Okay, cool. Do you guys want to handle, well, I guess it would be more pertinent to handle Morgan and Milani first, because there shouldn't be too many complications with the cart or guild house. So, Morgan and...
That's foreboding.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean... It's like, yeah. We know what we're walking into.
Morgan and Milani, you guys head to the Steel Cabal's quarters on the top of the... Oh, great. So this is going to be happening again. You guys head to the Steel Cabal quarters on the top of the hill. Is anybody out here to greet you in the evening air? Yes, you are going to find... you're going to find the captain tending to her mare. I think we said that was what she had, a black mare.
I believe so, yes.
In the stables. As you come walking into town, of course, you're not going to get by her perception. Or come walking into the courtyard, she's going to look back in your direction and is going to turn, walk into the party. And she's going to say, "It brings me great joy that you're alive."
I'm gonna insight that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's red. That is Red Flag City right there.
Let's open this up fast.
Just tear the band-aid off.
21.
Second.
I mean, she's dropped what she's doing. She's walked up to you, and I mean, she's got a large, well, not a large smile, like kind of like this half smile of expectation, I guess. And then,
like, it's not forced, though.
Yeah, as you guys are, like, staring, like, back at each other, in the silence, and she's, her smile's gonna fade, and she's, gonna say, "And I don't assume you found Mata."
No, I did.
And the smile returns, the half one. And it's going to fade on an insight check.
Yeah.
And it returns!
Rain, maybe we should speak inside.
She's going to nod, just kind of like looking around her courtyard, and then gesture towards her command house. Stepping in, Tamale is still gambling on her time off, as that is what she is prone to do, or rather what she enjoys doing.
That's what the random generator said she likes.
Yeah, it's her hobby. But as you guys step in, Tamale is going to look up as this time she'd actually be on duty a little bit, and she's going to stand, putting away the cards. You guys are in the lobby of the command house, and Rain's going to say, "All right, tell me everything."
Where were you?
Rain's gonna say, where were you?
Morgan was the cat they were chasing.
She knows.
And she's going to say, no, I wasn't aware. I thought your guildmates were downstairs blundering alone while they were waiting for you to get there. I caused chaos on the stairs, but I didn't know that was you.
Well, it was. When I came back downstairs, their blundering had turned into a fight. A fight we lost.
Because the one who was talking to you left your meeting and came down.
And she's going to nod and say, I weighed the options there. I thought I could kill Delia if I needed to in her office, but after surveying her for several minutes, she was far beyond my combat abilities.
She's something else.
Truth be told, the fight leaned in our favor for a good portion of it, but she started healing her comrades after they were taken out, and we just couldn't keep up with it after that. If you were there to help, we might have had a chance.
Morgan's gonna put a hand up. It's like, but I don't blame you.
No.
Personally, I'd have wanted to avoid the fight. But somebody has to keep these idiots alive.
And Mata is going to nod and say, there are currently 26 citizens of Lockliel in the Gaiori's care. I was informed by Delia that they were all currently still alive and will be returned to the town in a week's time.
After she takes them and does what she wants. We know their plans, Rain.
After our defeat, we were teleported. I don't know where. Well, do I know where?
I think Milani figured it out, didn't he?
Yeah, Lucilla told you guys you were in a fortress north of the Earthfire.
Yeah.
Rain's going to say, yes, I was aware of your defeat, and they informed me as they were taking you that none of you would lose your lives.
Well, that's
which in this region,
partially true.
And she's going to nod and say, in this region, that's an assurance not many can guarantee.
Well, they broke their promise to you.
Well,
Morgan actually was killed in action.
it was my own fault.
It was our fault. Everyone's fault, Morgan. We panicked. We acted stupid.
Regardless, after a brief stint in the bridge, we were taken to cells. Me, Milani, Nyoka, XJ. In 2 other cells was another man, and Mata.
She's gonna nod, like, as you're talking. And she's going to say, so Mata is still in their prison?
Maybe.
I healed her. She was sick. And then I used my ability to turn into an animal to get out of the cell. I gave Mata a knife. She picked her lock. Morgan's gonna, kind of choke up.
Do you want me to tear the band-aid off, Morgan? It'd be a little easier for me.
I'm fine.
Melania will put a hand on Morgan's shoulder.
Tamale is going to stand up. Well, and she's already standing. What weapon does she use? Let's look real quick at her thing in Group F. So Tamale is going to stand up, and she is going to she's gonna place she's actually going to step into her room, coming out and shouting the whole way, and she's gonna have like a belt of daggers on, and saying, those fire crazed scum should just kill each and every one of them in town. And as she is going on this, or as she starts to go on this rant, Rain is going to hold up a hand and say, they act with the orders of the Asya. They are on mandate from Astatar Argyrius, who is only whose voice is only second to that of God's. It's not our place to stop them. But
we'll get to that. But put it simply, Morgan and Mata retrieved our equipment. During the retrieval, they were spotted, and Mata gave her life, give us enough time to escape. I don't know, we couldn't get her body out of there in time before we had to go. And for that, Melania is going to do a full 90-degree bow to Rain. I apologize profusely.
And Rain is going to shake her head and say no. She served her place in the hierarchy as a foundation to build up others. There's no more honorable of a sacrifice.
As another fellow member of the hierarchy, I couldn't agree more, but it's still not easy to say or watch. The Gaiori are taking people from here that are contaminated with the Archblight to basically overthrow the Master of Magic in Beechwood. They're taking people here and contaminating other people. And they're using the teleportation circle the White Cloaks had in their old base to try to move them.
Rain's gonna nod at that information and say, This is a lot. We're just bounty hunters.
Yeah. It is a lot, and it's not any easier saying it and seeing it as many times as we have now. We're on our way to warn the Master of Magic of the Gaiori's plans.
She is gonna step forward and put a hand on Milani's shoulder and say, we do have to have faith in those above us placed in leadership. There is a reason the gods called them.
They killed Chet. They killed him in cold blood, and when they told me, they said it as nothing more than a joke to me. They threw him off the side of the mountain and killed him on the side, and threw him into the rocks off the coast. I'm not strong enough, but I will get revenge on them for one of these days. I believe it is my place in the hierarchy to make sure that they don't kill and hurt anyone else again.
She's gonna nod and say, well, when that day comes, I too will avenge Mata with you.
I have hope they might have revived Mata, as they did for Morgan, seeing her as more of a piece of their plan than just a casualty, but it still is not gonna excuse or make me forgive them for what they have done. This isn't a great place. Gelkin is not a great place to live. It's full of debauchery, scumbags, and those who just don't give a fuck about anyone. Lockleel's different, I feel. We actually care about each other, and this is not forgivable.
She nods, and she's gonna say, well, we can't wage a war against the entirety of the Gaiori.
No.
But you have my support. And whatever efforts that we can do to dislodge them from our town. You must understand there's only so much I could do there, with the fate of so many of our citizens lying in Delia's command.
How many have you seen? Morgan says, clearing her eyes.
How many Gaiori? She's gonna say just the 4.
We believe there might be 6.
No, there's 5. We know there's 5.
Is there 5? I thought there was 6. I apologize.
Besides, we know there has to be 5, but you said 4.
Yeah,
so the one...
the ugly one, Karin and Delilah. Who's the 4th one?
And she's gonna say, I see her in the marketplaces occasionally, buying supplies or food.
She must...
Woman who roams through town. She's the only one I've ever seen leave the healing house.
She must be the one who can teleport.
No guarantee. She could be the one that She could be the one that cleanses the land.
Or just a bodyguard. Rain, I'm going to apologize to you right here, right now. As when we first came back, and we heard that you were still in town, we had fears that you might have sided with the Gaiori against us. And call it our fear of the situation, or just our lack of knowledge, but I feel we owe you an apology for that. Or at least I do.
No. I owe you that apology. Similar to how Karin used Chet's death to rile him up. She used your knowledge of our capture against me. I didn't let it affect my escape, but I let it affect my return. That the shame, because I couldn't bring Mata back to you.
She's gonna shake her head and say, no, I have family in Undar. I've lived there before. I've seen the best and the worst of the Gaiori, especially the worst. When the moment came, I was paralyzed with what I should have done. And she's gonna, look to Milani and say the hierarchy exists, though, for those on top and those on the bottom. And I think the Asatar, and through the Asatar, her knights know that the pyramid can never stand without the foundation. That said, they need every servant. They need every voice, every farmer, every carpenter. They're all wheels in the greater... they're all spokes in the greater wheel of society. It's hard to believe, or it's hard to say, but at times like these, all we can do is rely on our trust and faith.
I assure you, Rain, speaking with you now has alleviated any distrust I had for you or your companions. But I still felt it was needed to apologize for it. We're facing tough, dark times in our city. It does me good knowing that we have friends that we can rely on.
Do you know anything about that sigil? I mean, you're just bounty hunters, but you're essentially our main military force.
Tamale is going to, is it? No, Tamale, I've been giving you guys the wrong name. It's, Tanellin, and she uses a sword, there we go. It's just like, why do I keep saying Tamale? Tamale is the cleric who died. Tanellin is going to, say...
Tamale is also a type of tomato-based plant.
Tanellin's also a looker. Is she as single as her sword?
Jeez, Rob! Way to kill the mood in a second!
Look, I have to get over my dead girlfriend, so a co-worker makes sense.
You have 7 others to worry about, including a drunk pirate.
Every girl in the harem is
Brock.
important. I don't think you understand.
The female Brock.
One was just a ranger, the other one's a deputy captain. Like, come on. It's moving up in the world. But anyways, Tanellin is going to say, I've seen it once or twice. I escorted a few of their members from the Portmaster's authority to along the roads to Beechwood Retreat to the north when they had to take him by foot.
Can you write it? Do you remember it? Can you write it down?
She's going to... You're going to see her close her eyes and just, like, kind of start drawing lines in the air. And she's going to say, I think...
1 second. Shit, I keep forgetting to give myself bless.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give her my inspiration to try to redraw it?
Well, the problem is writing it down. That's the thing.
Can you grant inspiration to NPCs? I think inspiration is only to player characters. Let me double check. Inspiration 240 to 241. This is not a rule I've looked up in forever. Alright, inspiration...
Well, it probably doesn't come up that often.
Yeah, let's see. Awarding inspiration, role-playing, heroism, reward for victory. Can award it to another player. Some groups even like to treat inspiration as a group resource, deciding collectively when to spend it on a roll. It's best to let players award their inspiration as they see fit, but feel free to talk... You know what? I will allow you to grant her inspiration because that is so vague.
Welcome to 5e.
So I'll give her my inspiration so that way she can roll with advantage.
The problem isn't so much if she's remembering it wrong or right. She's not writing it down.
I know that, but if she's remembering it, we can have her draw it out now.
All right. So, she rolled a 11 on that history check, and with inspiration, she re-rolled it to a 21. She is.
First of all, you're a champion. Be a champion. Second of all, somebody, I have a book. I need ink.
I'm sure they have paper and inkwells around their government officials, basically, of the town.
Yeah, you can. They would have a stack of bounties here of shipped in from Beechwood Retreat, and you can grab like one of these bounties, and on the vellum, just flip it over, and she'll start drawing as quick as she can with a piece of charcoal. You're going to see that it varies slightly from the one Rain drew for you guys.
That Nihilus drew?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that Nihilus drew for you. With a proper, somebody properly educated could probably hobble together a working teleportation sigil, inspecting the two drawings.
We need to show this to our friend.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tilla Ellen.
You don't know how much help this has been, actually.
She's gonna shrug and say, I actually haven't been on a good hunt lately, so...
If you decide to go hunting for Gaior remembers, wait till we get back.
Yeah, and she's got a belt of daggers on, along with her rapier, and she's going to take it off and say, "Oh, I'll be waiting." Or actually, I feel like she'd say, "Get back soon."
Well, I'll just kind of give her a sly smirk.
Stop muscling in on my Steel Cabal girlfriend.
You have one already.
She's dead!
You don't know that.
As far as I know, she's dead.
Look, you've got 3 others to choose from. Let me have one.
Yeah, you called dibs on Rain. That's why I'm taking Tenellen.
Fair enough.
Anyways,
Right.
back to the story.
This is just turning into
Let's
Rob
pause
and
the dating sim and get back.
This is just turning to Rob and Anthony fight over girls now.
It's the what is it? The girlfriend cabal. There we go. That's it.
Yeah. The Steel Cabals.
Oh, there we go. Oh god, that's it.
Rob, I hate you and love you at the exact same time for that statement.
I get a lot of that.
It's gonna haunt my nightmares.
The sheer fact Jordan isn't like punching you right now is amazing to me.
He's asleep.
Alright. Anyways, back to story. Thank you.
We'll let you know if you need anything. If we need anything. I don't think this is going to be... I don't think we're going to take the fight to them at this point. But we may need a distraction.
We're definitely going to need a cripple, or we can definitely try to cripple their operations.
All right. The members of the Steel Cabal are in agreement with you.
Yes.
So
This is how I build my power.
Rain is a believer in the hierarchy, and right now Barina is in charge of that religion. So she's less inclined to fight and more inclined to just like, hey, subtle resistance. And Tenellen, more so on the, like, they're effing with my guild mates. But from there, that's about everything they have to convey. Was there anything else you guys wanted to discuss with them?
I'm good. How about you, Rob?
Well, it's the only business I had to conduct, and You know, if we're going to have a personal chat, we should get the nasty business out of the way.
Okay, and I have another question then before I move you guys on. Morgan, when you reclaimed your stuff, did you start wearing the key as a necklace again?
Yeah, I probably would have.
Okay, and would Morgan be wearing it now?
Yeah, probably because I wouldn't have thought about it.
Okay, and Rain is going to, as you guys are saying your greetings goodbye and stuff, and I'm assuming it gets a little bit more intimate of stepping forward for handshakes, sometimes the full-armed mercenary to mercenary embrace. And, when she notices it, she's going to say, I thought it was a trick of my eyes before, but is that the key from the Master of Standards?
I believe it's a different key,
the
right?
Master of...
I believe you have the right master.
The Master of Standards is somebody else, but he is a master. And I forgot what exactly his title was, but I'll find it. He's
Master of Ceremonies?
Oh, he's a master of, God, it's on the tip of my, it's on the tip of my tongue. He keeps order in the city, and I forgot his title. But anyways.
Oh, now I'm doing it.
Yeah, it'll come back to me. She's gonna ask, is that the Master of Beechwood Retreats key?
No, it's a different one. I fetched it off of that stupid, weird Terrai that was the precursor to that attack.
She is going to just inspect it and say, what a curious artifact.
We're supposed to go take it to some ruins, but I keep getting sidetracked.
In due time, Morgan, in due time. I think we've, stumbled into something a little more important than in spelunking.
You say that, but this keys caused me nothing but trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to pay for itself when we steal what we want. He says jokingly.
Yeah, Rain's just gonna say, I heard that there was only one of those key... Master of Harmony. That's it. He keeps harmony inside of the city. That was why. It's like Master of Order, Master of Harmony. She's gonna say, I heard that there was only one key in the entire world, and that was how they secured Eodothia.
Yes, that's what I heard as well. From what I remember, it caused quite a stir when we presented it to them.
Didn't you when you inspected it, Morgan, didn't you see there was like a bunch of them?
That was the one Willis had.
Fair.
And his didn't have any magic attached to it. It was just, or at least it no longer did.
But it was one of the set, wasn't it? Or similar design, anyway.
Yes, but I don't know if it all goes to the same place.
And she's going to keep her attention on the key and say, you should consider traveling to the gully. I know it's much more dangerous. Our Dagger Gully is much more dangerous than Beechwood Retreat, but there's a member of the Crown there. He specializes in kayak artifacts.
Would I know this one? I live in this region, and to be fair, the guy's right up my alley.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say history check 9.
Here's your history check.
Go for it.
Nope.
If you remember it as a player, Morgan knows. Morgan,
Well, I know it's Kaiden. It's Kaiden. The
Would I be able to roll a history on that too, considering?
Yeah. The crown makes everybody's life hell in this region, so you guys would all have insight to it.
I just wanted to know how properly angry I needed to be because.
Yeah. So there are several princes and princesses of the crown. Each one, extorting people in a different fashion. Milani's gonna think through it, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, wait, Prince Tydethel was always extorting people around the desert." And Milani would know he is an elven scholar who has taken up, who basically has taken up residence in the desert and extorts other scholars trying to study the Kayak Empire. If there is anybody that is an expert on these artifacts, it would be him.
And you're talking about Tydethel. You're talking about that prick Tydethel, huh?
I had the wrong one. I thought it was that one prick that thinks he's the last line to the Kayak throne. The ocean. Drown him.
And she's gonna nod and say it's a bit of a journey, but a key like that, you could command quite some respect in the city. Not to mention what it could possibly go for.
Well, I could also garner some unwanted attention, so that's something to be careful of.
We put it under advisement. Thank you, Rain.
Yes.
She nods and says, additionally, there's a bounty for him. So if you get an in with his inner circle, I'd be happy to send one of my Cabal members with you to the meeting.
Dead or alive?
This is a very important distinction.
That's an important question.
Yeah, before she can even reply, Tanellin is going to say he's a member of the Crown, always dead.
Oh, good. We're not
Morgan, I think we can handle that one.
Killing people is our specialty.
I think we can handle that one a little easier than Willis.
Well. Ugh.
You might even be able to let us off our leashes for a little bit for that one.
And Rain's gonna say, no. The Crown are no easy hunt.
I never said they were. It's just more of a joke, sorry.
And she's going to say, I would most certainly send one of my rangers with you. Not to take him in, but just to learn where he's hiding. It's all a process, tracking your prey and moving up to the moment where you can finally capture them.
Yeah, we might even have to bring Geraldin on that hunt.
Well, he is our only hunter. But we really must be going. Obviously, if I make the decision, I'll discuss it with you, since you'll need to supply a ranger.
She nods and says, just something I wanted to mention, pointing at the key.
Thanks for the advice. We'll definitely keep it in mind. Try to clear up this mess we're in right now first, and then possible future venture.
Yeah. She's going to salute to you guys and say, well, may you find your place, or may you find your purpose in the hierarchy.
As you, Rain.
As you reign.
Ugh, this stupid religion.
I hate this religion. I scoffed at this religion at the beginning of this campaign. I hate this religion now.
It's only killed one of your girlfriends.
And it's only got you accidentally killed once too. So
Right?
all right.
Hashtag not my Asatar.
switching over to Milani, Camel, and XJ and Nyoka.
Should I name him at some point?
I mean, I'm fine with Milani Camel.
Name him Lester.
But anyways, as you guys are prepping the cart, not a terribly difficult venture, but getting back into town, you're gonna find, even though Mata seriously tried, people haven't stopped dumping bodies off at your guys' guild house. There would be 2 dead bodies, and there wouldn't be there wouldn't be any inspecting them, no signs of the blight or anything like that. Of
They're just bringing their dead now.
Yeah, of just oh yeah, the paladin told us to, put the corpses here. And it's well,
Bring
the
out
ranger
your
told
dead.
you not to do it. And it's yeah, but the paladin's more scary, so yeah.
They haven't seen Modern Murder.
The robot's
before.
going to say, "Stop putting bodies here."
Well, they're there when you guys get there, but it wouldn't take you guys too terribly long to dispose of them. Otherwise,
Are we still doing the mass grave thing, or are we just kind of throwing them in the dirt now, or over the cliff?
well,
Spirit stone. Toss them into the forge.
There's also that option. Hell, you know what? Actually, it's gonna go in. I want to find some scrap wood, and I'm just gonna get some white paint and just paint on it.
Why he does that?
Morgue. Either morgue or a crematory.
Please make the sign morgue.
Morgue.
Oh my god.
Shove that in front.
Nyoka is going to rifle through the pockets.
of the person?
Of the
two
dead.
people?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they've been looted before they brought him here.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a investigation check.
What's this? Respecting the dead? Never heard of it.
What's this? Nyoka respect? Never heard of it.
What's this? Some actual forethought into a plan? Nah.
All right. You are going to as you are searching the first body, you're going to find a brooch on him. It seems to be a very nicely carved wooden brooch. And then on the second body, you're gonna find enough coin, and this is in smaller coins. I just don't like giving you guys smaller coins because math. You're gonna find enough coin to probably equal about 1 gold piece, and that's gonna be in 6 silver coins and probably be about 7 silver coins and 20 copper coins.
Actually, how much do we want to start charging people to dispose of their dead? Because I'm not doing this for free anymore. There's no more plague.
That ship sailed.
No, that ship is very much here.
Future business venture. We'll discuss it at a later date.
I say starting price 1 gold. Maybe 5 silver.
Hey, every criminal empire has to start somewhere.
And we're starting in a morgue.
Well, yeah,
with Morgan's morgue.
I
credit to
thought
Willow.
starting price be 1 gold, but we can lower that to 5 silver because these are poor people.
Yeah, just need a body to get rid of a body quickly. Come on down to the morgue.
Need to get rid of bodies? You come down to Morgan's morgue. Got a deceased family member? part of a rival gang, and you need to hide bodies that we didn't create? Well,
you want to know why the Silver Tree Guild is growing so strong? Because the roots are planted in fertile soil.
Oh.
Just call it. We'll just call it the morgue again.
Alright.
I'm Morg. No, when you greet people, hi, I'm Morg. In.
Service with a grimace.
Yeah, so you guys can dispose of those 2 bodies and get the cart ready. It would be probably 15. How long did that roleplay take? like 25 minutes later, and Morgan and Milani would be returning.
Do we just show up at the guild and see a bonfire with bodies in it?
No, you guys have a furnace. Or you have a forge.
Yeah, no, we started. This was a blacksmith spot to start with.
Yeah.
Originally, it was going to be a forge. We're just making it into a crematory now.
I come from a long line of blacksmiths.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But
I was made from blacksmith. It's
yeah. As you guys get close to this side of town, it doesn't smell pleasant. It's not that nice smell of like coal and minerals like being burned. It's that just putrid smell of flesh being charred and then eventually incinerated as the flames are stoked hotter. And that
smell Milani's been smelling since he's been burning a lot of corpses lately.
You smell that smelly smell.
And that's gonna take over.
Smelly smell that smells.
That's gonna take over your whole this whole area of the courtyard and stuff. So as soon as you guys walk in, it's just like, did they kill somebody while we were gone?
Milani's just gonna look at Morgan. I had nothing to do with their stupidity this time.
Morgan is gonna come back to the morgue sign, starting off at 1 gold per body.
Mm-hmm.
Extorting the dead. Huh. I didn't give XJ enough credit.
No, to answer the text chat, no, XJ cannot smell.
Yeah, so you're fine.
I'm fine. I don't mind this work. I
I'm
don't
over here
I don't have a nose to smell with.
Fucking Krillin.
Morgan, we need to stop XJ. He's enterprising.
I think we need to see
Let's see Carrie do this. Now I've opened up my own hotel, the morgue.
Why do you think I wanted to call it the morgue? I wanted him to get confused and show up.
Yeah, Carrie's just gonna come with a gold coin, and it's like, so it's $1 per or a gold per night, right?
We can make a lot of swords out of his chassis.
He's also part wood, right?
And stoke the fire with it.
Anyways, I think I need to go find Lucilith.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's good at sneaking.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very hard thing to do. If you want to find Lucilith, you can do so with a investigation check, DC 24.
I can't.
I mean, he's good at being found when he wants to be found, and very good at not being found when he doesn't want to be found. How did the Gaiori catch this man? Is what Morgan thinks that she's just looking around town.
They got a pretty face and got him pretty drunk.
From the sounds of it, he got caught because he infiltrated.
If he's good at, he's probably keeping an eye on us as well as the Gaiori, so.
Well, I don't want to be loud, but we maybe have the sigil, so the one that has to read it.
Man, this town could really use a street performer.
You shout that out loud?
Yes.
Come on, kids. Maybe if we all clap our hands, a street performer will come.
Mm-hmm.
And I will roll that
Swiper no breakdancing. Swiper no breakdancing.
I mean, I don't know how much of this I just want to give to you guys. I feel like your characters at moments, would be in this region more intelligent than, we're able to bring them out as. So I would say an intelligence check, and I can give you guys a clue on how to find him. And I would say that you guys just got information on it.
Morgan, I will help you with that.
Yeah, so I would say DC 12. Willow's already began typing of just no, they're not going to make it on that. So is history intelligence? Yes. All right.
Well, yeah, you said intelligence, so and I don't.
15. Lucilith is masquerading as a traveling performer. And the
That's
target...
why I was shouting is, because, like...
Yeah. Well, the target that you guys sent him after, Rain told you that she's seen her before walking through the market, buying supplies.
And we've seen her moving about today.
Yeah, wouldn't it be a terrible place to try and start searching for Lucilith at where you think she might be? And maybe go through, like, the identities of who would be there.
Marketplace.
Marketplace.
We're just gonna ignore the smell of burning flesh for now, huh?
What smell?
I want to ignore it, so we'll be right back.
Alright. So, your official marketplace isn't set up in town yet because, the White Cloaks are, literally constructing it today and just getting in all of their shipments and supplies. But
Because
the area
we totally didn't stick pirates on them.
Yeah, exactly. The area north of the fighting pit, where people will come and like sell a couple weapons and peddle a couple goods to people, coming to watch the fights, has been kind of like an impromptu trading area of town, especially when the fighting pit's not going. So heading over there and looking for Lucilith. On your passive perception, you guys can see several groups of people here. There would be, of course, and actually, let me just roll this percentage die. There would be several groups of people here trading. Particularly members of the Cabal, and they would be, just exchanging weapons with a smith or probably somebody who owns the fighting pit who has been collecting weapons of dead people. And among those people, like you can see that there is a small crowd. That's just kind of like conversing in front of the Hardy Flame Inn.
That seems like as good a spot as any to me. How about you, Morgan?
Seems fine.
I'll head over to the croup.
All right. As you step into this crowd, let's see who's all in the Hardy Flame Tavern today.
All of the Gaiori are there.
Yeah, that's the only one that's important that I rolled for if, she was there. You're not going to notice her there. Actually, you know what? Let me roll one more. So you're going to step into this crowd. Obviously the people trading outside the inn. And the other people closest to the inn. The person garnering the most attention is going to be a falconer, who is just kind of like having kind of entertaining people as they're coming, in and out, and a few people are throwing a couple coins in as they're moving past him. This guy is having this falcon do some amazing flourishes of tricks, catching things in air, flying through rings and diving through them as he's tossing up these metal rings. It all seems terribly well rehearsed. After about his fifth trick, the falcon sees another bird like flying by on the north shore, like a seagull or sorts, and zips off after it. And people begin losing interest in him after that. And he's going to say, she'll be right back, folks, if it's about that time for dinner for her. Show will resume in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I am inciting to see if this is who I think it is.
Yeah, looking at this person, This guy is much younger, much more frazzled than Lucilith was. You don't think it's Lucilith. As the crowd begins to disperse, though, there are, some vagabonds and stuff still around him that, have kind of like set up in this area that, since they were kicked out of the Windar ward when all the sick people were sent there.
I don't think that's his performance, but I don't think he's going to be too far from the show. He doesn't seem like the type of person who'll get upstaged so easily.
You don't want to draw too much attention to yourself.
Yeah, and as you guys are talking, you're going to see this performer conversing with some of the other performers. Or not other performers, some of the other vagabonds around here.
So do you think he's around here?
I have no doubts about it. It's just he's not wanting to be found right now.
Ugh. You'd think he'd be easier to find since,
Well, he is always bragging about how stealthy he can be.
Ugh, it's annoying.
So, if you guys are you guys just standing here, like, waiting for the show to start?
Should we head inside for a drink?
What is drink?
Maybe scout the inside of the bar a little bit?
I don't know, maybe... Do you think that would be wise? I mean, he could be one of the vagabonds.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because that's what I was asking. Because as you guys are standing here, you're going to see, as he's, like, conversing with these vagabonds, one of them is moving the performer's feet. Like, you see him, adjusting his arm, and then, like, positioning his feet, like, giving him a stance, and then just kind of, like, gesturing to his chest of, basically kind of giving this guy advice is what it looks like from a distance.
Milani just looks at Morgan. I think we found him.
No, let's hope.
Excuse me, sir.
So yeah, as you guys approach him, you're going to hear him, saying, Falcons respond to assertiveness, but there's a certain freedom you have to let them have when... and he is going to look over at you and say,
Milani's going to put a hand on his shoulder. I'm going to have to ask you to stop bothering the performer. Come with me, I have some questions for you.
He's going to nod to the Falconeer, like, shaking his hands with both hands and says, just remember what I said. Very, very moving. By the way, just you and Elia are so in sync. It really touched me. Thank you. And he walks away. And he's going to look to Milani and say, and Milani's going to notice, like, he's got a wig on, definitely some makeup scars on his face, dirt, everything, an entire different outfit that he's wearing. And he's kind of walking with a hunch. And he's going to say, if you follow me, it doesn't make my job any easier.
Yes, but we have gifts.
We may have made your job a hell of a lot easier, so come with us.
I have the stuff. I'm right here.
But we don't really want to do this right in the middle of the open.
Would you care for a drink?
And he's going to shake his hand and say, "No, I don't drink." And he twiddles his fingers and says, "Messes with my dexterity."
Man after my own heart.
And he says, he continues and says, when you get an appearance that, or when you get a disguise that looks so ugly, people just tend to look away from you and avoid you. Out here, I might as well be invisible.
Trust me, if we hadn't have prior obligations with you, we'd probably avoid you ourselves.
He nods and he's going to. You're going to see him pull off a cup from his waist, hooked on his belt loop, and untying the knot, and he's going to rattle it and say, "Spare coin."
Cute. Come with us. We might have a way for this to go.
He's been walking with you the whole time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
At this point, it kind of looks like he's bothering you, as he's just like, you guys are walking away, and he's just like, "Hey, come on. Hey, come on, come on, come on."
I'm gonna...
Only will drop in 5 copper.
Yeah, he rattles the cup, and he's going to say, "Oh, the hierarchy smiles on you."
Don't make me hurt you.
Morgan's gonna grimace, and then Morgan's gonna stuff the, as gently as she can, the drawings, and be like, some religious pamphlets to ease your soul.
He is going to nod, and he's, he's gonna take out the sheet and the coins in his hand and kind of rifle through them, look at it, crumple it, and put it all back in the cup and say, "You're too kind, madam, you're too kind." Nodding, and he's going to hobble back towards the vagabonds.
Oh, here comes the fun part now. Let's go see what they did.
Ugh. Today's been exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
This last few days have been exhausting, Morgan.
Need a vacation.
Maybe a splunking trip.
All
Well,
right.
let's go see if they've caused any more havoc in the X amount of time we've been gone.
Are you talking about Nyoka and
Yes.
XJ? They've been perfect angels.
I just look at Morgan.
Why would you ever suspect us of causing trouble? Ever?
I was gone for 25 minutes, and now it smells like burning corpses.
I just look at Morgan. If they tried anything too stupid, my camel would have alerted me.
What if they killed the camel?
I would know.
All right, you guys step away as the Falcon comes back. Heading back to the guild house. Yeah, the whole party is back together, presumably ready for the road to Beechwood Retreat.
Well
Or
set.
you could head south.
What's south?
The dungeon and Dagger Gully.
We don't want to head to Dagger Gully yet.
I don't like it when the DM heavily suggests things.
No, I'm kidding. You don't have to. You don't have to do any of that.
Oh,
I mean, you could head into the Gyori lair if you want.
been there, done that. Not a fun time. Upon arriving, Maloney's just gonna look at XJ and Naoka. Alright, I'm gonna regret this question, I already feel it. Why does it smell like burnt bodies?
We started a new business.
Naoka's like, I got 1 gold, so I'm okay.
Like, did you not read the sign?
Morgan, is this what you feel like every time you talk to us?
And Nyoka's gonna look at both of y'all and go, "What? Would you rather left the bodies on the floor?"
They kept bringing them to us. I figured we might as well make something out of it.
We didn't have time to go up there to bury them, so we took care of it, boss.
On the bright side, the forge hasn't burned so bright in a while.
For the record, I felt like this for the last 20 years.
I think I owe you an apology then.
It's fine. You haven't met my family.
For 1 gold, we can take care of them too.
XJ,
No,
Deactivate.
no. We'll talk. But we need to be going.
yeah. So what do you want? Do we still want to head to the? We still probably want to head to the Master of Magic. Give him his
What
warning.
time is it?
It is the evening. It is probably like, maybe an hour before sunset. Oh, wait, no, you guys live just north of the equator. It's probably like 2 hours before sunset.
I just feel like we're at a point where, like, maybe we can talk to him tonight, but we might have to stay in an inn.
Yeah, Lockleow, like, with horses is like, or Beechwood Retreat with horses is like 4 hours away.
I think we can get there and, need be, just bunker up for the night.
Yes, but we could bunker up for the night. Yes, but if I bunker up here, it doesn't cost me money.
Not a good idea to stay here, boss, considering what we went through before.
Not to mention, I'm not going to be able to sleep smelling that all night. I got some gold. I think I can cover, or at least part of the...
We can cover it. Fine. It's not like I have to push the cart anyway. We can go hang out with fives! Yay! The party never stops.
If anything, you can... If you don't want to talk to the Master of Magic tonight, you can always just check on your branching enterprise of miscreants.
No, I don't want to talk to Cooker tonight.
Really deal with so
She's
much stress at one time.
She can be as insufferable as the rest of you. Her only upside is that she's prettier than you.
I find that debatable. She's prettier to you because you're not attracted to people like me.
Nyoka
Beauty
looks
isn't-
at you and goes, "Dumb."
Nyoka would know. Into the cart, please.
I'll drive. Because I don't get to use it often, but I actually have proficiency with land vehicles.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so, you guys are going to head towards, Beechwood Retreat. And, you know, you're going to travel the, night roads there, for the... Wait, what? Did I miss something?
I'm sorry, just Willow was like, Morgan needs a vacation, a living girlfriend, and a Snickers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Accurate.
I think my dog bit a chunk of my straw off.
You guys are going to travel to Beechwood Retreat. The night roads are actually kind of pleasant. And there was something I was going to say that, I don't know what it was. It's gone.
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Tree falls, everybody dies. We already established if anyone's dying this session, it's from a tree.
Oh yeah, it would be via tree. Lightning strikes a tree falls, everyone dies.
Alright, so, Beechwood
You know,
Retreat...
while we're in Beechwood, we can always go to the morgue and visit Carrie.
Oh god, that would be fantastic.
Well, I mean, you know where I'm going. I need to visit my old friend Candelabra.
I am actually going to roll a carry an investigation check of if he found the morgue.
Oh shit, Carrie's over there, I forgot.
Alright, so, you guys are able to travel to Beechwood Retreat. Oh my god, it's right there at the tip of my brain. So
Oh my god, guys, put me on the cart and distract me. Pretend I'm a suit of armor or something. I don't want to talk to Carrie.
How peaceful is this trip? Because I feel like 4 hours is good reading time.
Oh, yeah, it is. God, I forgot about that book. I don't have my notes open for it, but it's in my drive. Alright, go ahead and roll me that history check.
Oh, God.
The last chapter you read through was,
BAM!
Okay, I have to pull up my notes for it real quick, because I had it in order on my phone.
I believe the last thing I had was about the 5 pillars.
Okay, the 5 pillars? Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My notes have, criticizing Dilo and Rome.
Oh, okay, yep. So you were on the Winrona chapter. The next chapter God, I forgot the name of the guy who wrote this book, but it's Speculative Ethics. The next chapter is, and so you know the whole outline of the book. I will give you the option to choose what chapter you read.
Well, what's the next chapter?
Yeah, the next chapter is on Olivia Del Kyle. She is a Shatterer known as the Lost One. Then additionally, there is a chapter on the Empress Elizabeth Del Kyle, Asatar Barina Gaius, and then there is Nihiles's addendum notes at the back.
See, that's the thing. I'm torn here, because I, as a character, definitely want to know about Olivia. She is the central figure of my motivations.
Alright.
I have a lot of beef right now with Barina.
Olivia, in the book of Speculative Ethics, is praised. Although her methods are extreme, the way that she organizes her people is through the motivation of ideas. Although those ideas might have negative benefits for the people around her.
That book's getting chucked out of the car in a second.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, I found some kindling.
She has contributed more to the field of magic, perhaps more than anyone other than Diamede, Winrona, and Fictier would be the only 3 people who would have more of a contribution to her than her. The book, however, goes on to state, criticizing that although in the group that she serves is well maintained in her form of government, it does not benefit the masses, and would be labeled as a oligarchy, which wouldn't be a suitable form of wouldn't be a suitable form of government for the Clutch. Mostly in so much that there's so many vast different cultures inside of the Clutch that each individual culture would need their own Olivia Del Kyle. For the most part, the author likes how she organizes, dislikes what she organizes for.
Jeez, there's a whole chapter torn out of this book. I wonder what it was about.
Do I just suddenly start feeling Morgan's anger?
No, Morgan's actually just taking this in.
Niles would have critiques on this, saying where he is right and wrong. And a lot of these would be a lot of this she would be stating would be, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's not red herring, but like it means hyperbolic. Hyperbolic's the word I'm looking for. She would say hyperbolic for the sake of book sales. Like pointing to several passages. Which, is just like over exaggerations and just, saying things that are controversial to kind of drum up popularity for this idea. But yes, she is the third pillar.
Interesting.
And that's another one on the hit list.
Mm-hmm.
Yes! I don't think you know who Olivia is.
I have no idea who Olivia is.
She is the Shatterer. She is the entire reason that the Low Lakes is a blighted wasteland filled with zombies that randomly come back to life.
She's the lady who destroyed Morgan's culture. Long before Morgan was born.
She's the person who's hunting Draelos.
Yeah.
In a total unrelated note, Nyoka looks at Morgan and shows him the wooden necklace, the wooden brooch, and he's like, "Boss, if we coated this in gold, do you think we could fool people into thinking it's solid gold?
Absolutely.
How much do you think that would cost us, and how much we would get for it?"
And probably cost about 5, and you probably sell it for 10. I'd say 20 to 30.
Yes, it'd be about twice its weight in whatever. It'd be about twice its weight in gold, give or take. But it's also jewelry, so it has a certain subjective quality.
We can make a deal with Nihilast.
Meh.
I don't think Nihilast would want to purchase a half-wooden brooch.
Hey, Rob, what was the first chapter in this book? Was it about a woman named Lylila Alarith? Do you have that in your notes? Because I think the... Oh, go ahead.
I have her listed, Lylila listed as one of the pillars. But I think it started with Barina.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't think I gave you her chapter. Okay, I gave that to you out of order. But yeah, for the sake of the story then, Barina would have been the first one. I was just like, I don't feel like any group has, done anything with her yet. But yeah, okay, so let me correct that in my notes, because it's going to be 5 sessions before you ask about this book again. I'll be like, what? Oh, yeah.
Well, I haven't had free time to ask. I usually consistently ask during long rests, but...
Nyoka is going to see if
I remember what I needed to say. Before we got into the cart, Shelby, every time Nyoka sniffs the bag, I need you to inform me of his bag sniffing.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Why is that uh-oh?
I was like, I didn't read that as an uh-oh. It's like, it has uses, I assume. Or, druggy effects.
Well, he hasn't done it in a while, so okay.
Yeah.
Was this be from the... Well, I guess I'll find out. So Nyoka is going to see if he can duplicate the brooch on another piece of wood with his tools.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a woodcarver's check. I believe you should have woodcarver tools on the as a tool proficiency.
I don't know what the proficiency is.
It would be 1d20 plus your proficiency modifier plus your dexterity check.
Oh, it's a dex?
Yes. You are whittling.
I'm gonna have to do it by hand. I'll have to fix that in here in a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was just
1d20.
saying. Yeah, 1d20 plus your dex modifier plus your proficiency bonus. Did anybody else want to do or say anything on the cart? Otherwise, we are going to go...
Besides fixing it, no?
Well, the cart's fixed. You guys are good on that. You guys are riding in the cart right now, being pulled and driven by Milani. I still haven't seen that check yet, Shelby, but when you do, I'll tell you the results of it. But
yeah, I'm still getting it. I'm sorry.
Okay. You all are going to arrive at the gates of... you guys are all going to arrive at the gates of Beechwood Retreat. You will be coming in on the eastern side or western side of town. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, you're going to be able to duplicate this brooch pretty well. The only difference between the brooch that you the only difference between the brooch that you made and the brooch you have is the quality of the wood. It is a different wood that the brooch is out of. Particularly the brooch's wood's going to be like redder. So every...
Do I recognize the wood? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you'd recognize it as cedar. It smells good.
In the bag.
Actually would go in the back.
It was a long, like, a weird thought train that led me there of just like, oh yeah, I need to make sure I do the bag. But it hasn't came up, and it was just... But yeah, it does smell really good. When Nyoka opens the bag, he's going to notice the flower is a different color. Than
What
when
color?
he found it. It was pitch, or well, not pitch black, but it was dark at night, and I think Nyoka had dark vision. He didn't see color when he first put it in the bag.
I don't have dark vision, so that makes
Oh,
sense.
you don't? Yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah, you weren't paying attention to what color it was, but, like, you're going to look at it now, and if it was, like, dark in the bag, you're going to just notice it has different shades to it. Like, opening it up now and, like, putting light on it, you're going to see the petals of the flower are green.
Really? That's interesting, because it was all dried out when I got it.
It was not dried out. They were trying to grow it in a pot. And you took the pot and dirt. It was the only thing that was growing.
That's true. I did do that. You're right. Okay.
And how much light does Nyoka shine on this plant?
Hardly anything. He just opened up the bag, so...
That's because it doesn't respond well to sunlight.
But yeah, your
lycanthrope flower.
Your smell bag has the phoenix blood soaked cloth, the plant that you found at the university, and now a cedar brooch.
And
That is going to be
and regular dirt. I picked up dirt. Although the dirt might be gone by now, depending on travel and such.
What a wonderful little bag.
It's a little bag
gonna
of
have
dirt and cedar and some random shit I found on the ground.
Oh, I remember.
That is like the most weird mix of smells coming out of that bag right now.
I mean, for the most part, it would be like a salty, pleasing smell out of there. Alright, so you guys arrive into Beechwood Retreat on the low docks, or rather approaching the low docks on the eastern part of town. Bayflame, the tower with the 4 statues holding up the circular, God, and I still haven't looked up for what the word of this building would be called. The circular offices of the Magister of Magic is going to be one of the first buildings that you guys see flying over, or, extending high over the wall as you're walking through the shanty town up to the city wall. And of course, on top of it, on top of the Magister's office, or the Master of Magic's offices, is the flame that serves as a lighthouse for all of the ports. This whole area is covered in dim light from Bay Flame. Was the decision to go inside the city to Fivarian's Tavern?
I guess we can reestablish that. Were we just gonna go settle in for the night and then talk to them?
That's up to you, boss.
If we don't do it your way, you'll complain that we're idiots, so...
See, the thing is I'm going to complain because I ask you a question and then you deflect.
Naoki, you need to understand there's no pleasing women.
Naoka ain't here to please anybody. Naoka is here.
Call lightning when I get out of the cart.
I say we try to talk to him tonight if he'll even see us. The sooner we can...
We're going to the tower.
Alright, to the Bay Flame! Alright, you guys are, after a brief conversation with the guards, you are going to be gated up, and you'll have a, you'll actually have a Fearite with you, running ahead. As you guys get, as you're in the center office and you're standing by that large silver globe in the center of this circular building, obviously the first person who is alerted is the Magister, or the God, I'm going to keep calling him the Magister of Magic because of World of Warcraft. I keep thinking of Magister's Terrace. But anyways, the Master of Magic is going to be the first one who comes running into your chamber. And as you, as he does, the other two orders are going to rally, with Kalila being the first person, and Dolila being the second person roused. Dolila would have two of her clerics with her.
Oh no.
Yeah, Kalila wouldn't have anybody with her. Kalila. The Magister is, like, as you guys are waiting near this silvery orb, he's going to say, so, you inspected that sunken vault we scryed on? Tell me, what was inside of it? What did the key do?
Can we possibly talk about this in private?
He is going to nod and say, yes, of course. And as he gestures you towards his office, the Kalila is going to say, Gansong, or no, she's going to say, Master Ildera, remember the Ruby Alliance has a long-standing agreement with the Scholars of the Mave to share any information related to the Kayak Empire. Through open channels, we ensure that our partnership continues within the city. He says, yes, of course. I'll write up any dissertation needed. Dolia is going to just like kind of look at this exchange happening and say, I see. I feel my clerics and I are being neglected from this situation. Even though we helped you out rezzing that dead member, or that dead smuggler for you. Kalila's going to say, please, the Gaiori will be paid full and well for their deeds. Nonetheless, Gansong, is the Master of Magic, is going to snap and say, ladies! and pointing to the party and say, if you will, to his office.
Don't we have to get, like, teleported to his office?
No, you are... So, I can actually... Actually, if you see one of these towers right here, I don't even have to draw it. So, this thing right here, if you see that circular type building, that is the entirety of the Bayflame, except there are these 4 statues that hold it up underneath it, rather than a tower that lead up there. And there's an office below it that, there's a constant arcane gate spell that gets activated that leads people up there. So as soon as you guys, talk to the people down here, you were teleported to the center of this area. And in the center of this tower is, kind of like this open lobby with this large scrying orb in the middle of it. And then the different offices and quarters around it. These quarters you can walk into and talk in. His specifically, inside of his office, there's no stairs that lead upstairs to his private quarters. But his office you can walk inside of.
Nyoka is going to take a big breath and fill up his chest, and then he's going to ask the spirits if anybody is listening in.
Give me that religion check. Oof. 7 on the religion. So Nyoka is going to, ask the spirits, and they're going to respond with arcane eyes all around. As to who, we don't know.
Just me or the spirits been dicks lately?
They've been so incredibly helpful.
I don't blame the spirits for anything.
I don't blame them, I'm just saying.
Inside the office, though, Gansong is going to say, so, come, we'll have to spend all night going over this. Would you like a bottle of Phoenix blood, tea, ale?
We haven't actually gone to the ruins yet.
And Nyoka goes, holds up a hand, and he points to the ear, and points to the Master of Magic, and then he starts doing some weird, like hissing dance, like tribal dance around, and hissing and guttural sound.
So,
What do you literally pick?
I'm gonna let you guys know right now. The NPCs have rolled 3 nat 20s in a row. The Spirits nat 20, Gansong nat 20, and what's her face nat 20, Dalila. So he's going to roll an insight check, like just tilting his head at like what, and it's like, oh, he doesn't understand magic. Kind of pick up on like what you're doing, and he's going to grab his spell book, and I think there is something he can cast that is 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. But he's going to grab his spell book. And he's going to say, everybody is always trying to get the upper hand in this city. I fully expect that somebody has probably come by and warded my office, or either set basins to scry on it. And after flipping for a few seconds, He is going to cast... God, does he want to spend that? Yeah, he's going to spend that. You guys see him cast a spell that takes him several seconds for the incantation. Before finally his eyes start to light up. His irises turn green. And looking around, he begins walking through the room. And I'm just going to roll him a... I'm going to roll him a d6, and he is going to begin casting Dispel Magic. You guys see him cast it at least 4 times. And on the final spot he's going to walk to, he's going to point and say, if one of you will, right here, there's a additional sensor. I fear that I don't want to expend any more magic for the evening. Today has been trite.
What's the save?
You ask him that? He says, what do you mean
I'm
save?
sorry. So, no, I'm asking you, because I have Dispel Magic.
Yeah, you can roll a Dispel attempt. It is a d20 plus your spellcasting ability, trying to beat 10 plus the spell's level.
So, 1d20 plus 4.
15! You are going to beat Scrying at cast as a 5th level spell, dispelling the final sensor. Oof. Alright, so, and as he is there with True Sight, he is going, like, he's been paying attention to these sensors, and he is going to put his hand over his eyes, and say, for the sake of your privacy, do you mind if I keep the spell on?
I'd feel less comfortable if you didn't.
Alright, and he is going to turn his gaze towards you.
As far as I know, none of us are secretly fiends.
Well, yeah, but it's rude to True Sight through people without their approval.
Well, you know what? If this is a good way to find out if we are.
Morgan's actually human. She's had disguised self on this whole time.
I'm only human after all. Put your blame on me.
Now that that's taken care of.
Naoka is still doing the dance, by the way.
So, as he looks to Naoka, he's gonna say, my good lizard folk friend, are you aware there are several extraplanar entities following you?
Naoka's gonna look at him and go, yeah, so.
Melani's just gonna look at Morgan and go, did we know that?
No, just
Naoka,
pretend that we did. Just pretend we did.
Naoka always see the spirits. They're his friends.
Holy shit, they're real.
I mean, I thought it was more of a religious thing. I mean, I know that the gods and goddesses are real, but, you know, I don't have the specter of death following me everywhere.
You sure about that?
XJ, you're not the spirit of death, even though you think you are.
I still have
It can
it's
become
like,
the spirit of death.
I still have a Dispel Magic. Turn you off.
Hey, his core has to be exposed.
You know, protective plating.
I can tear through it.
Anyways. We haven't actually been to the ruins yet. We've been sidetracked by something I believe you should be aware of. The Gaiori are planning a coup.
As you get to as you get to that, there's a knock on the door. Does Morgan continue like talking, or does she wait?
The door's closed, right? Like we would
Yes,
know,
it
or
is.
is it like
It is closed.
Well, you know it's being knocked on, but we don't know who's there
Yeah.
at the moment.
Ioka is still doing his little thing, and he's going, "Caca! Caca!"
He stands up, and he's going to hold a hand to Morgan, and he's going to walk to the door.
Milani's gonna stop him. Allow me. And he pushes him back and answers the door, in case there's about to be a fireball thrown at him.
Mm-hmm. As you answer the door, Kalila is there, along with another one of her scholars, and she's going to say, I just need a quick second of the Master of Magic's time.
Can it wait?
And she's going to say... She's going to say... Yes.
Wait, who is out of character? Who is Kalila again?
She's the Galena Maeve lady.
Yeah, so there are
So as far as we know, she's not evil.
Yeah, she is the person in charge of Lucilith.
Oh, okay.
And she is going to say, well, you see, we've put several protective spells to monitor Gansong's office, all of which we just watched him dispel. And he says, I'm aware of those enchantments. And she says, yes, they help keep an eye on you because you are a very attractive target for assassins and other people that would seek to have your head.
Which is what I wanted to talk to you about.
And she's going to say which the people you meet in private could be. He's
Please.
going to he's gonna like twirl his finger at Milani, gesturing, close the door.
Would I know that she's Lucilith's boss or no?
You could put the connections together, as she's a scholar of the Galena Maeve. When you guys went into the bookstore that was serving as their base, everybody was in a scholar's the scholar's uniform, similar to the one she's wearing.
Okay. Milani's actually going to look at Morgan. It might be prevalent to have her in here. I believe our new friend might be affiliated.
It's not my office.
Sir, I believe her presence here might actually be very beneficial to what we're about to discuss.
Ioka sniffs her.
I mean, she smells good. She smells really, really good. Because she would spend time
more
with
detail.
Ethodothia.
More detail. Slower.
I believe we're actually working with one of her subordinates at this moment.
Regardless, he is going to nod and say, yes. Let's hear this information you have to share. Kalila is going to step inside. Dolila from the other side of the fortress is going to say, no one's inviting me, come on! No, I'm kidding.
No one likes
Milani hears that and he's just like, fuck you! Shuts the door.
May I continue?
He gestures, again, like waving his hand to continue.
The Gaiori are staging a coup. They're using their help in Lochleal as a way to establish a staging.
They're planning on invading here with the Blight and attacking taken you out of office and out of commission.
I'm sorry, I was hyped for a second. Okay. So,
Who got
you-
the fourth of that 20?
that is irrelevant. But
Oh, fuck.
as you say that, Gansong is going to look very, very pensive about this information, and he's going to say, "Yes, well, the Gyori strong-armed their way inside of this city. I believe that they've functioned much better under my watch, but perhaps I've been too lenient with them. Tell me, how did you stumble on this information about this coup?"
They tend to brag.
There's that, and as I mentioned, we're currently working with one of her subordinates to take down the portal that they plan on using to sneak in.
We kind of blundered into it, to be perfectly fair. A ally of ours had gotten sick, the Blight. Went to them for help. We found out that everybody that goes to them doesn't come out. At all. Not well, not dead. They just disappear. We went to question them about it. It got physical. We lost. And we were taken to a base. Just north of the Earth. North or south?
North.
North of the Earth Fire. They weren't exactly shy about talking about it. But to be fair, they probably thought that we weren't going to get out. Or if we did, we would have been converted. We know that they have access to a teleportation circuit in Lochleo. It's presumably what they've been using to transport things to and from.
He nods and says, "Well, that makes a coherent amount of sense. I think our best course of action now is to coordinate with the Master of Harmony in the necessary preparations to dislodge them from their places within the city. And I'm going to, God.
They also
Go ahead.
broke their rule, or their promise to you in our city, which I believe would make their contract in Lochleo null and void. They killed someone. Directly in the city.
Nyoka is also like, and don't forget to tell them about the fire thrower.
Oh, the paladin?
No,
In the city.
he's Kara.
Mm.
And Kalila's going to respond at that one and say, "And what does she have to do with this? The woman who attacked you the night you were with Willis?"
She's one of them, presumably.
We found this after the fact. After the fireballing and after we turned Willis in. At the time, it was odd. We didn't think much of it, but then as things have gone in line, her presence makes much more sense.
Start a gang in the underground. Help stage a coup that way, too. Attack from multiple fronts.
All right. as you guys are like giving this information to Gansong, he's just sitting here, like absorbing it. Then he stands up and he begins walking to the door, and he says, "I'll be right back." Kalila's going to respond to Gansong. He holds his hand. He opens the door and steps out of it, leaving it open.
Leaving him alone to go do what he's about to do, which I feel he's about to do, would probably be not a good idea. My suggestion is we follow.
Nyoka says he should be part of this group.
Yeah. Milani's gonna look at Kylila real quick. So how much of this did you know before walking in here?
She is going to nod and say, it has been brought to my attention that that the Gyori have been increasing their presence in Beechwood Retreat. We had our suspicions, but with us all working shoulder to shoulder in here, there's only been so much that we've been able to confirm. We've contracted labor into the issue, but he went missing several days ago.
I think we found. I believe we found him.
Like I said, we've found one of your subordinates.
A street performer.
And she is going to roll her eyes and say, hardly.
He's good at sneaking. He's not great at lying.
Mm-hmm. And
I still say it's prominent we should be following him now.
She's going to look back and say, Gansong will likely be fine. They won't do anything within the tower. However, having the element of surprise on our side is always something I recommend. It's only a few moments later before Gansong's walking back into the room with Dalila. She steps into the room, just stone face, like almost a soldier's step to her with her arms, behind her back. She looks at everybody in the room, and all right, guys, this is my new favorite die. Excuse the language.
5?
I shit you not. That is the 5th
Yes!
20 in the straight row. I have to test this die
How
if
are
it's
you
weighted
doing a favor
properly.
and stop using it?
Okay, that's a 19. That's an 11. That's a 15. Okay,
How
I don't
about you
know
only use it when it benefits us?
what. God, this is the golden die. I'm gonna put it on my monitor. It just
Right?
fell.
I don't know if I
Nat
trust.
20. God,
I will just say this, guys. It's a good thing we didn't go into that fight.
Yeah!
Yes.
Golly, gee willikers. This is where all of my luck has been, is this session. Anyways, so Dalila is going to, step into the room just reading the contempt. And,
Morgan's kind of neutral.
and she is going to... I feel like Morgan could try and play neutral, but I feel like there's still that underlying element of...
Morgan has a
suppression.
consistent disdain for everything. So
Yeah.
Fair.
The contempt is there, it just hasn't faded.
So it's a constant.
And, it's like, with XJ, it's just like, are his eyes supposed to be red? Like, I don't feel like that's normal, but no. Anyways, stepping into the room, she is going to say, and so now I get privy to the private meeting of sorts. And judging from the looks being exchanged for me, it's not relating to your mission in Powaldin Ellen, but instead the order my clergy have been doing inside of your town.
Oh, you're making the interrogation go a lot easier by admitting that.
She nods and looks towards Gansong and says, I can assure you the rules that you set forward for us working within the town have been observed to the utmost of standard. And if they haven't, I can assure my sister is in charge of our operations there firsthand, and she would put anyone to the anyone's head to the executioner's block who might have word for breaking the rule.
Misstepped?
Disobeyed?
Yeah, we'll just go with misstepped.
Nyoka mutters unless it's her that misstepped.
Not here.
He is going to shake his head and say no. I've known Delia for nearly a decade. Her guidance was the only reason I allowed your order to come here inside the tower. And she's going to continue and say, so have we done anything wrong? And he is going to gesture to the party and say, there is substantial evidence that you've been planning some sort of coup against the masters inside the city. Dalila is going to look around the room and say, I do as my Asatar commands me.
Again, make the interrogation very easy by saying stuff like that. So you're not denying that you're planning on using the Archblade to stage a coup.
Q. Please get in line for your backstabbing.
She is going to... God, I'm gonna roll her morality die real quick. She is going to, look at all of you in this room, eye to eye to eye to eye to eye, and say, not inside of a Beechwood retreat. Gansong is going to snap and say, where? She says, the Yanya. We plan to take it over. It's going to be the first southern colony for the Asatar.
So taking people from our town who are sick and you are coming to help, and then using them to infect other people to invade a city, that's what your idea of helping is?
And she is going to say, not a city, a shanty town outside the walls of the city, a poor, impoverished neighborhood that's been neglected from the oversight of the Ruby Alliance. And Gansong is going to say, this ends today. Every step of it. And she's gonna roll her another morality die. And she is going to look at Gansong and say, I'm here as a guest under your supervision. My orders still come from the Asatar.
Well, just like your men disobeyed your orders, I guess you can disobey one too. I believe there was a stipulation in your contract that you were not to harm anyone inside of Lockleal, is that correct?
She is going to nod and say, nobody has been harmed inside of Lockleyo.
Bullshit. One of your people admitted straight to me after they had captured me and held me as a prisoner. They threw one of my friends off of a cliff and killed him.
Karen's such a nice one.
And you say it's Karen, and she says, "I'll put her head to the stake then." Or, yeah, put it on a pike. You also are aware too, and I feel like you know what? I'm gonna give them both a history check. And she's gonna say, "I'm not too aware of Lockleel's location, but last I checked, the cliffs on the north side of the city are outside of your town wall."
Is she really trying to get by with a technicality? Stab her now! Stab her now! The bitch! How dare she?
Out of character. You know Paladin Girl? This is Big Stronger Sister.
I still say stab her now.
Please don't.
Like, I mean, XJ has nothing to say on this, but I'm just saying as a player. Like, she deserves to die.
Naoka is going to look at her and go, "I'm so glad you're familiar with our area. Are you saying that we're not in the city? Or are you saying that you are a part of our city?"
No, she's arguing
Because
the exact borders of our town. Because you see, if Chet was thrown... What?
Shut up for a second.
Ooh.
And Naoka goes, "You are not part of our city. Our city is what we say it is. And you were in our city limits. You broke your rules. We want you out of Lockleyo. We want you out of Beechwood."
She is going to bow and say, "Then so be it. I'll have my clerics withdraw." As she does, the Master of Magic is going to hold up a hand and say, "No." She's gonna, come up from her bow, looking at him, and he's going to say, "I'm promoting you."
Son of a bitch.
And everybody in the room's going to look like, "Wait, what?" And he's going to say, "You're my new archivist."
I am inciting this situation right now.
Naoka is dumbfounded.
Son of a...
Just like, pure, like... I have no words.
He seems dead serious.
I'm missing something.
Yeah,
Like
looking
the
at
hell?
I mean, for all I know, this means she has to stay in some kind of stupid dungeon for the rest of her life.
Well, it also could
he
mean that
could
he's
be, like,
taking
Death
her...
Stab.
It could also mean that she's being taken out of the control of the Gaiori. He's making her a full-time employee, so...
Yeah,
She's-
Who knows? Maybe this won't fuck us.
Yeah... Let's see how this fucks us.
and he is going to say, "Report back to your quarters. We'll talk about your roles in the morning." She bows and says, "Yes, my lord," and steps out.
Explain.
I'm sorry to be rude in this situation, sir, but the fuck?
He's going to point as she's leaving and say, "It simply requires a amount of cultural competence. If she follows the hierarchy to the T, if I'm her direct superior, she follows my orders to the T. And even if it means making her my number 2 to eventually take my position, I'd rather it happen in 10 to 12 years than a dagger overnight.
Not to be rude. I'm not even... Is XJ even here, or was XJ left behind?
Yeah, XJ's here.
No, you're there.
Okay, doesn't this just make her overthrowing easier, and with dagger and back?
No, this actually works in our favor.
Nyoka is just going to say a Jackie does as a Jackie does, and shake his head.
Actually, you're not too wrong on that, Nyoka. Basically, she's so devoted to her beliefs that she will never disobey a direct order from her supervisor. What he just did is he made it so he has complete control over her.
I hate your religion, by the way.
It's like, I understand how this works, I'm just not happy that she gets put in a position of power when I'd rather have her dead.
I mean, she's already in a position of power.
Yeah.
I would rather have her in a grave, but okay.
Think of it this way, XJ. He simultaneously put her in a position of power and took away all of her power at the same moment.
It's quite shrewd.
Nyoka is going to repeat, a Jackie does as a Jackie does.
And he's going, and like as you guys are like saying this, Kalila's going to stand up and say, "But Gansong, you made her the archivist?" And he says, "Yeah, they'll send another member to be in charge of her order here, but right now she has intimate knowledge of all their going-ons, and with her at my side, it'll be easier to dismantle them."
Not to mention, if she's still, until they send someone else here, she's still in direct control of them, so he can have her stop this right here, right now.
Kalila is going to gesture back and say, I seldom ever go with the adventurer's choice, but I feel like you should have killed her right here. Gansong's going to shake his head and say, and if we did that, there are elements she has in the city that are waiting on her beck and call. It would become hell, or it would become a bridge here trying to dislodge them. Chaos.
It would basically be instant war the moment we killed her. All the members would just rise up.
Morgan will raise a hand. I've been to the bridge. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Although it seems like a completely, for lack of a better term, asinine and unusual decision. What he did was the smartest decision to stop things and simultaneously save Lockleal and Beechwood.
I think I would have preferred combat, but I think...
I
was really getting behind Kara.
Just like programming dictates combat, maybe this different approach might help.
From a tactical military standpoint, he made the smartest decision to stop a fight and at the same time completely disarm his enemy all at once.
Nyoka's gonna look at him and then go, "You owe us."
Morgan is smacking her face. Like the whole, oh, God.
No, Nyoka.
No, and then
speaking,
Nyoka holds up his hand and he goes, "You owe us, but we can still help you. There's still the Gaiori in the fire starter who is taking control of the gangs.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we at least have her head?
We can take her out."
And he is going to... he's going to nod and say the Yanyeth is out of the city walls. There is a unspoken agreement there that the gangs do as they will, and they leave the high docks alone. That said, if she just happened to find herself with a sword through the chest, the concern isn't any of mine.
By some pissed off adventurers who have a slight grudge against her? being set on fire really irks someone's nerves a little bit. Melanie says with a smile.
Nyoka is gonna press the advantage. We need a base of operations here.
We might be asking for too much. This is out of character, by the way. Might start be asking for too much. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just hand in the face. I'm just done.
I think best we can ask for is somewhere to stay the night.
I think we'll have to set up our own base of operations.
Okay,
but
out of character.
you know, we have
Y'all quit being pussies. I'm gonna ask. He
No,
can
go
say
for it.
no,
No,
but
go for
I'm
it.
gonna ask.
No,
I mean,
please,
you
Shelby,
can
go
ask,
for it.
but-
I'm just saying, out of
I'm
character.
just saying, like,
in
out of character, I don't think he's gonna. I mean, I don't think he's gonna be like mad that we ask, but I don't think he's gonna give it to us.
Do you, Shelby? Do you?
Yeah, what's Nyoka say?
Nyoka thinks he will, actually. He's like, we need a base of operations so that we can plan it out. There's plenty of properties here that you could negotiate for us.
He is going to say, I always have 2 rooms. Or actually, would he? He's going to say, I always have... no. 2 is too convenient. So I dice rolled it. He's going to say, I always have 5 rooms on reserve at Eodothia. If you like, I can allow you to stay in the guest quarters for a few nights while you're in town. However, it is the utmost importance that the rooms that key came from get thoroughly investigated. The city, that's the Master of Harmony's job. It's my job to ensure that magical, or rather arcane mysteries don't catch us off guard.
I don't make the decisions, so talk it up with the guild leader.
Molly just kind of does a weird look at Morgan. So what's the plan? Do we want to stay here a couple of days, take care of some loose ends, then go head to the ruins as planned? Now that we've finally gotten sidetracking hopefully taken care of.
As you guys are talking, Kalila's going to stand up and say, Master Ildera, my order maintains a mercantile shop inside of the Yanya, a simple bookstore that we make our base out of. If they are hunting for a figure within that region of town, I could permit them access, or I could permit them stay there. And he is going to wave his hand and say, either or.
Oh, Morgan, what's the call?
Ask Nyoka.
Nyoka is gonna be like, look at you like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, he'll make the decision for you and say Eodothia has a teleportation sigil. And, well, you guys also know the bookstore has a teleportation sigil.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
None of us can cast teleportations.
He would be aware of that too, as he'd have monitors on it here. But he is going... Eodothia's comes to mind to him first. And he is going to begin drawing out the... He's going to begin drawing out the sigil on the ground.
I think Eodothia would be fine, but if you could have your people in the bookstore maybe keep an eye on where her movements are going, so we have a better idea of where to strike, would be a better option.
We can meet her easy.
Alright.
Ugh.
That's...
Not like any of you pay attention. She offered us a job.
That's true. I do apologize, I'm thinking military strategy, not guerrilla warfare.
Miss Carl wants us to hunt Willis Calkin.
Military strategy. There is something I did need to discuss with you guys. That he would have information for you. So as he's drawing this, he's going to look up and say, and he's going to say, your guild has a warforge in it.
Has a what?
Warforge in it.
Yes.
Hi. Here.
And
Present.
He's gonna say, I was curious if you've heard anything about that warforge in the south causing issues for Heimsdale.
No, never heard of it. Really?
We met another Warforged, today, actually. Today?
Yeah, early this morning.
Today? He said his full
It
number.
wouldn't happen to have a pink wig, would it?
And he's going to say no. From what I'm aware of, it's rallied more of its kind, created a whole army.
Oh,
Seems when,
okay, no. Don't know this one, but intrigued. Go on.
And he's gonna say, it seems when Heimsdale put their battalion out of commission, war seemed too much to stop for them. And he's gonna say, I've only gotten distant scryings on them. Heard that the horde was moving northwards. Or, I've only gotten distant sendings on them. I've heard the horde was moving northwards. In any case, Beechwood Retreat is well ready for him. I was just curious how your kind organize.
Northwards from what direction would that
Well,
be?
we're pretty scary in a battle. We're efficient. We're brutal. We don't know how to show mercy, and we don't fear death.
And they're stupid. They're all stupid.
No, the mage units are actually quite advanced.
Lord help us.
The mage units will if it's leading, it's probably a mage unit or a tactician. It was specifically built with the purpose of leading a battalion.
So where are they at? Like where are they? Like they're moving north, but like from where?
What strategical positions are in that direction?
Yeah, he is going to. He's going to say, "Oh, I'm not certain. I got sendings from them when Heimsdale pushed them out." Kalia is going to say they move past Dagger Gully to Mid Throne.
Where is that? How worried should I be?
It's pretty much along the way we're about to be going after this.
He's going to he's gonna stop and think for a second and say Mid Throne. Oh no, you're fine. Mid Throne, it's far southeast of here. Not much there, but runes and.
Well, out of character, like where's that on the map?
Mid Throne. Actually,
I would like to say that like Warforged are not stupid. It's just that XJ is literally a grunt. He's like the lowest there is.
Well, I've only met two of you.
The red circles are Beechwood Retreat in the region that Lochliel. Well, actually, I'll do Lochliel in the in a blue circle. Lochliel is a tiny cliffside town right there. If you see where I put that blue mark. Dagger Gully is the magenta circle, and it kind of has a chokehold on this peninsula, or this bridge of land moving from the south to the north. If she said they punch past Dagger Gully, Mid-Throne is right there. At the
is it? And they're heading north from there?
The Sendings, he said, they could possibly head north. And he's going to say they didn't seem, or from what I'm aware of, Heimsdale had some trouble tracking them, but otherwise they didn't seem to be too terribly hard to engage in open combat. Heavy losses, but enough sustained damage to push the Warforged back. And he's going to say, I've been considering implementing a policy here within the city of anybody experimenting with constructs to register them of some sort with the Alliance. I was just curious on how concerned I should be.
I'm trying to figure out how concerned I should be. Because judging by that map and their trajectory, XJ's stupid old battalion might be attacking my home.
You know, you guys talked to another Warforged from the south.
XJ, we need to find Carrie.
Your really doubt
stupid brothers might be going after my family. Which, God help them.
Question, what's actually your family line?
What do you mean by that?
Are they important, or are they a major funder in, possibly the war?
I mean...
Are they important? Well, they gave birth to the next Asatar of Galkin.
I was about to say... It's like... Look, my family is important because it's my family.
I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things, is there any particular reason that...
The Darbaharis are the next divine rulers of the lowland.
Okay, I'm just thinking, I don't know, if they're that important, there's a decent possibility that they might come to kill you so they could take over your land and rule it for themselves.
Hey Rob, you remember when your story and XJ's stories were gonna mix?
So what, or rather, as you guys...
I also just screamed that in the middle, in front of the Master of Magic and Kalila.
Yeah, as you guys are, as Morgan's having a panic attack, Kalia is going to, stand up and put a hand on Morgan's back and say, hey, I have contacts. I have contacts in, what is the name of that town? I have contacts in, at the Jaridel Monastery. At the Temple of Jaridel. If anything comes through the southern swamps, you'll be the first person I contact.
I could probably join up with the battalion and see if I can ask them what their actual purpose is. If they're from my old forces, there shouldn't be any problems letting me in.
So Ganson's is going to finish his circle, and he's going to say, "Well, see, that was my concern at the how likely they'd be able to recruit other Warforged to their cause.
Incredibly,
I needed to be concerned about other Warforged traveling through the city."
In terms of other Warforged gathering together, if they're from the same unit, incredibly easily, they're probably more comfortable together. I'm kind of an outlier. I wanted to go solo, but many of the old battalions stayed together.
And
isn't Carrie part of your battalion?
Yeah, well, different section, but ultimately part of the same force. Yes.
Maybe he was recruited.
Or attempted to be.
Judging from how Carrie acted when we saw them, doubtful.
Well, he said he didn't want to stay with them, so it's possible they tried recruiting him.
It's a possibility. If to be honest, if I didn't find this group beforehand, I probably would have joined up with them too. If I found out they were going for a war. I'm sorry, it's in my base programming.
Yeah, as you're saying this, Gansong's already walked over to the table and he's writing on a piece of vellum. Yeah, you guys are going to see him. You're gonna see him scribble for a moment, cast a spell, and then just press his thumb to the paper, sealing it with a brand. And he's going to walk up to. He's just gonna walk up to Milani and hand it to him, and look towards XJ and say, "I'm sorry, but I believe we should implement a curfew for Warforged inside the town. I only
Warforged
wish...
don't play.
Exactly.
It's more to get you off the street.
We're in basically. I don't know. Basically, we never tire. We're relentless. We don't fear death.
Yeah, and
basically, how many bodies are you willing to throw at a force?
And he's going to say, yes, if you could give that message to the Master of Harmony while you stay in Eodothia, I would greatly appreciate it. Simply inform the Temple Keep that you'll be using the Bayflame guest rooms. I have 5 open right now, but I'd really prefer if you took up 2 so I could send other guests there if needed.
Oh shit, you know what? I just thought of something. There was a special unit. I knew one member. What was the serial number?
XJ43?
No, it wasn't an XJ unit. It was part of an assassination unit, but basically they're kind of the forerunners and scouts of a battalion. And they're very good at infiltration and assassination. So if this is a hostile force, maybe be on the lookout for some sudden important people disappearing.
And he's gonna nod and gesture towards the circle and say, "Now, if you will, we all have rest to get tonight and things to handle in the morning."
Yes. Thank
Morgan
you.
is giving XJ the death eyes.
It's not my fault. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just related to the force that's going to kill your family.
Thank you for
your force is doomed, but
thank you for your hospitality and your help.
Again, I am one of the weaker units. There are far stronger Warforged than me.
And he nods and he activates the spell. You guys can proceed through the teleportation circle.
XJ walks through.
Does everybody else go through?
Yeah.
Alright, you guys arrive in Eodothia inside the Wormreach Bazaar, in front of a tavern to be named next session. Well, not a tavern, a very nice inn that you'll be in.
Lonnie's gonna look at the paper he was given and try to read it.
It's just the Master of Magic's. It's a letter from him detailing, hey, I've been tracking some Warforged through scryings and sendings. They've been making trouble in the south. Their numbers could potentially grow. We should watch Warforged inside the city. I recommend a curfew. And then just signed his signature. As Milani skims over, it's more of just a preventative thing of oh, I didn't think this was something we should be concerned about, but it never hurts to, be proactive.
Yeah. He just wanted to make sure it wasn't by decree of the Master of Magic, all Warforged are to be dismantled immediately.
No.
Yeah,
if they're going where I think they are, that's the order.
I get. So, Where to start?
We can end here and pick up next session because I think it's like 10:27 for you guys.
Yeah, it's. Yep.
11:27.
Yeah. So we will pick up here next session. Was there anything else that needed to be done? Don't remember. Cool. Well, yeah, of course, experience, but I don't remember what else it was. God, as you guys completely, continue to avoid the dungeon.
And that's another session that we didn't do the dungeon crawl.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we never intended to do the dungeon crawl.
Yeah, and apparently we're not going to get to that for a little while longer. Now we have to fight out Army of Warforged.
We don't have to fight an army of Warforged.
Yeah, there's nothing in Mid-Throne. Hey.
I'm not worried about mid-throne! I'm worried about low throne!
Alright, so, experience for tonight. The Gaiori, is pretty much solved. Then, what else happened tonight? Well, you guys, you got the other half of, XJ's, quest. So, Carrie was the, best of the, Warforged, and, he never named the unit. Well, you guys will find that out next session. Carrie is the...
I did name them, I just haven't... I was going to share it, but,
Oh, no, the name the guys, rather the Warforged is going by. Carrie is the best of them, and this other unit is the worst of them. Of Warforged trying to find purpose in the world.
Does that mean XJ's kind of smack dab in the middle?
Yeah.
If 5 was the middle, XJ would be like 4.7. Because he's like,
No,
I probably would have
I'd say
went and
XJ would be a
joined.
5.
I probably would have joined them, except I found you guys. So you know.
Basically, like, I already became a mercenary and found this group first.
Mhm.
But hell, if they found me first, I would have joined them.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Was there anything else? I feel like there was one more plot line discussed.
We talked to Rain.
She didn't betray us.
Oh yeah, Rain. I'll give Minor for that one.
We got the other half of the teleportation sigil too. What's his?
Yeah, I'll give Minor for that. There's one more thing that was really on my mind tonight that I was like considering.
Nyoka's flower.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on with that thing.
I read the book.
And you know what? I'll give Minor for the book too. Okay, so for tonight, I think that's like 2,600.
I mean, you're the DM. You're the one that knows these.
Yeah, I have you guys at a tier, but also I was informed last week that everybody was like level 6, so I have to look at the experience I'm giving out per thing to make sure it matches, because I might have been having you guys. Okay, yeah. So 5. That is going to be 3,000 for tonight.
Yes! I'm now level 7!
Oh, did we crack it?
We should.
How much XP do we need to get to 7?
23.
I have no idea. Yeah.
So I'm at like 4,210 before this.
Oh, do you know what? Too, for completing the Gaiori quest too, you guys are going to get some loot, and we will handle that between the sessions. But I will say it on stream here. As you go into the Eodothia, the Master of Magic's rooms, you know, there are going to be lavish, expensive, fancy clothes for you guys to wear, along with, you know, treats and delicacies. Each person could pocket enough of these to sell for 150 gold each, out of like the things that are just laid out in this room for you. And then in addition to that, you guys can also add like one set of exceptional upper class clothes to your inventory. you ever needed to blend in with the pop. Nyoka has clothes!
Yeah, Nyoka wouldn't wear it, but okay.
Nyoka's like, what's this?
So,
Can we eat
150 gold for everybody, and lavish clothes.
Yes.
Wait, is there even clothes for the Warforged?
Well, I mean, you're shaped like a person.
I mean, true,
But
I mean, you're humanoid shaped. I mean, you might be like in the Nyoka boat, like whatever.
Yeah, I'm probably in the Nyoka boat of like probably
But
not.
you could get a dank coat. Be like a Warforged in that that Macklemore jacket.
You could ask.
How can I weaponize this?
You could ask for a wig if you wanted to.
God no.
You can get a rainbow wig.
Your guys' next session is going to be on the 19th. No, the 25th.
The 26th.
We're the 26th. We're taking a break next week. All right. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Yeah, and I'll talk to you after this.